Presentation is on PulsePoint, and my name is Claire Pruitt.
My name is Alatorre.
And I'm Kristen Morales.
So, what is PulsePoint? PulsePoint is a free mobile app that is designed to alert CPR trained individuals to assist in emergencies by providing real time alerts for nearby cardiac arrests. The app's purpose is to reduce response times and improve survival rates. For functionality, upon activation by local 911 centers, PulsePoint notifies users trained in CPR about nearby cardiac arrest events, directing them to the incident location and to the nearest AED. In the first figure, you can see how users can select the notification, type alerts received, and find out CPR locations. Responder types would be public CPR responders or registered CPR responders, or even professional responders. How does PulsePoint use GIS? PulsePoint uses GIS to connect citizens to cardiac emergencies happening nearby, creating life-saving assistance before EMS arrives on the scene. The app uses GIS and GPS to identify the precise location of the cardiac arrest that was reported to 911 centers, as shown in the second figure. The app uses a live map to help users to see exactly where help is needed. This allows for faster response times while also increasing the chance of survival for the victims. The use of real-time geographic mapping transforms everyday citizens into part of the emergency response system that is supported by technology that turns location data into direct action. PulsePoint's integration with tools. PulsePoint's success as a life-saving app relies heavily on the integration with external tools and emergency systems, mainly with AED registries and 911 communication centers. One of the most important integrations is with automated external defibrillator databases. This helps show where these life-saving devices are on the live PulsePoint map. The PulsePoint AED registry supports both web-based and mobile AED submissions. This data is first verified, then shared with local dispatchers so they can inform callers to the nearest AED device. PulsePoint also integrates with computer-aided dispatch systems that are used by emergency systems. These systems push verified data to PulsePoint in real time. This allows for alerts to be generated within seconds of the emergency being logged without the need for manual updates.
Real-world applications. Many organizations are utilizing the application. Utilizing the application for our project will make a huge difference for optimizing emergency responses, as it can assist in a significant way. PulsePoint assists in alerting nearby responders, and responders use the application to see calls that not necessarily apply to them. The application allows many to stay informed of different activities in real time. This is because through the applications, users are able to be notified or of different events near their location. Social engagement. PulsePoint Respond offers two popular social components: streaming dispatch, radio, and social media account integration. These features offer additional opportunities to engage your community and grow your followers. Agencies manage enrollment in their verified responder programs. PulsePoint user installation. Installing an important and useful application can be difficult sometimes. However, the free PulsePoint application is available for both iPhone and Android devices and can be easily downloaded. The steps to install the application are not difficult to follow and can help the user set up the application easily. The steps to follow to be able to install the application are: 1, download the app by going to the App Store or Google Play. Search for the PulsePoint Respond and select it to download. Third, open the app and review the terms of service. 4, create an account by entering username and password. 5th, type the name of the desired agency. 6. Tap follow to add a chosen agency to the list. 7. Review a map nearby. After following these steps effectively, the app will be downloaded into the user device. And finally, the app can be utilized to stay informed about emergencies in nearby communities and assist with when CPR is needed. Fees and cost. Fees and costs can make an enormous difference in the number of users who choose to use an application that could assist them. This is because if the users do not afford to pay for an application subscription, they could decide not to download an app that they require. The advantage of PulsePoint is that the application can be used at no cost. This is because there is no subscription or any fees associated for its use. The use of this application in optimizing emergency responses in Houston, Texas is crucial. The application is available for free download on Apple Store and Google Play for iOS and Android devices, and this facilitates quicker access for users. And this accessibility also allows users that have different operating systems to use the application as is available in different systems.
I did a slide on agency perspective implementation. So this is where public safety agencies get their alerts and information onto the PulsePoint app for users. PulsePoint is not available in all areas. This service is only offered where adopted by the local public safety agency. PulsePoint is not a universal service, and its availability depends on local adoption. Agencies that are interested in expanding their community impact through digital emergency alerting systems have to initiate the onboarding process and allocate resources for ongoing maintenance and system updates. Agencies that do adopt PulsePoint begin with a collaborative implementation process, working closely with PulsePoint's support team to configure the platform in alignment with their local computer-aided dispatch CAD system and define specific criteria for which types of calls appear in the app, ensuring community responders only see relevant and actionable emergencies. This setup allows verified incident data such as cardiac arrest events, traffic collisions, and fire responses to be automatically transmitted to PulsePoint's network. Figure 6 demonstrates how an agency is able to establish their geofenced activation radius, pinpointing where alerts will be sent to nearby app users who are trained in CPR who have access to AEDs. PulsePoint agencies can also add an AED entry form to their website. By providing real-time visibility into nearby emergencies, PulsePoint enhances situational awareness for both agencies and the public, fostering a shared responsibility model for life-saving interventions and civic readiness. I just wanted to point out too that a lot of this centers around CPR and responsiveness, but PulsePoint actually is really good for car crashes, any sort of driving hazard. That's what I used it for, driving on Highway 199. It really alerted me of a lot, especially like wildfire situations. Behind the interface of GIS mapping features, Claire touched on this a bit in her slides, but this is more of the internal aspects of GIS. The visualization shows the different layers, starting with layer 1 being location and infrastructure, moving into the live 911 feeds from the several agencies, and then the third being incident type and response. So PulsePoint relies heavily on geographic information systems to layer complex data sets into a clear real-time emergency response map. The visual layers displayed to the right represent the foundational GIS functions that support PulsePoint's effectiveness from both public and agency perspectives. The first layer, the location and infrastructure, is PulsePoint uses platforms like Google Maps and even ArcGIS. This foundational layer provides geographic context, including streets, buildings, and landmarks. This layer ensures that incident locations, AEDs, and responders are visualized on a familiar and accurate base map. Agencies can embed this layer into websites for tools like public AED locators or jurisdictional mapping. The live 911 feeds. This layer streams verified emergency call data directly from the agency's computer-aided dispatch system into the PulsePoint platform. These real-time feeds are automatically mapped and updated, providing visibility into active incidents as they unfold. And then lastly, the incident type and response. PulsePoint uses GIS to display incident types such as cardiac arrests, fires, vehicle collisions, and hazardous conditions. Each event is geolocated and marked with a distinct icon on the map, allowing users and responders to quickly interpret the nature and severity of the emergency. This layer empowers bystanders to take immediate, informed action based on the incident classifications and mapped responder proximities. And then lastly, how does PulsePoint use user data for geolocation, their privacy permissions, and spatial data handling? And Figure 7 highlights the image displays of the iOS level settings and the internal location status screen within the PulsePoint app, where users must enable location access always. I have an iOS, so that's why the screenshot's iOS, and I imagine that an Android would be similar. Um, so you have to first make sure that within your phone, its cellular data is to ensure that the app can operate reliably, even when running in the background, so that notifications can be sent to your phone. Key permissions like background location and precise location must be active. This verification layer is essential for ensuring that users' device is eligible to receive real-time notification when emergencies occur nearby. Together, these settings support privacy-compliant, real-time geolocation services, enabling PulsePoint to turn spatial data into immediate action while operating within the bounds of its terms of service. PulsePoint relies on accurate user geolocation data to deliver time-sensitive alerts that can save lives. To function effectively, the app does require the location services to be on in the background at all times. When users opt into location sharing, this data is then processed locally and securely according to the terms outlined in their public terms of service documentation. The app does not store or share identifying location data and only uses geospatial data for real-time event matching and public safety alerting. The PulsePoint Foundation, as a public benefit organization, ensures transparency and responsible data use, aligning with its mission to improve emergency response outcomes without compromising user trust. That's our presentation on PulsePoint. Our last slide is our references. If you guys have time, PulsePoint's a really great app, and if you don't know anything about it, visiting some of these links can be really beneficial. And